All right, so I'm back. We are going to be talking about the Ken Onion Edition knife sharpener, the electric one. The previous video was about the Adjust knife sharpener with Work Sharp. I hope you did enjoy it. This thing is awesome. I have nothing but, 2 thumbs up for it is all I can say. So I'm going to get this out of the way and we'll get started on this. What I really like about this thing is there's a lot you can do with it, not just knife sharpening. There's other attachments on here for to use it as a deburring tool, which with me being in the metal fabrication is a very useful and handy thing to have. But just for example, right here where you can dial in your degree for your blade, all you got to do is with a little pressure lift up on this thing and remove that. Okay, now over here on the back side there's a button. You push that button in and you can rotate this thing forward and you can get in and deburr some stuff. Now they have other attachments. This is actually longer. I just don't have any of those attachments yet, but I do plan on getting them and using them as well. That'll be for future videos. But right now what we're doing is focusing on knife sharpening. So make sure that's pointed back up where it's to be. It locks into place. This slides right back down over top. So again, right here, you have your degree of where your blade should be. These arms right here move out as you're turning it, okay? But careful, one thing I want to point out before you get started, when you put this blade in here, in this groove where it's supposed to go for sharpening, make sure you're not pointing that blade towards this knob. You want to put it right here against this ledge, gently, because if you push it too hard, what's going to happen is those arms move and you'll actually knock it out of position where it's supposed to be sitting at. That's why in this manual, when you're reading it, they're always saying use light pressure, so make sure you do that. So again, you just gently put it in there, and when you're moving along, you're not putting any weight down or anything else. Also on the other side of this, there's a rest for your knife. Right now I have it flipped up. All you have to do is pull out on it and give it a turn. Okay, that's what your blade is going to guide on. It's got little rollers on it, so everything comes out nice and smooth. That's going to be used for like kitchen knives and things like that, or knives that don't have a finger guard on it. The example they gave was a pocket knife. So this right here, I'm not going to be able to fully get my knife in there with the blade all the way across because this handle right here is preventing that. Okay. So I would actually rotate this up, put that blade all the way in there where it should be, and then guide it out by hand. Nice even stroke. And with the curve of this blade, when you're coming out of that, when you're coming out of that position here, you want to go with the blade. So you're rotating it up as you're going. One thing I want to point out too is the belt tracking. So right here, there is a yellow knob that moves up and down right here, or back and forth, however you want to word that. What that's going to do is allow that belt to move whichever direction it needs to go. Me, I've been having to pull it out this way to get it closer to the end of my blades here where I want it at. So I'm going to turn it on and actually move it while it's rolling so you can see that thing move back and forth. About right there is where I want mine. So I just wanted to point that out, the different features here, to make sure you pay close attention to, because you'll be able to use these features depending on what type of knife you are sharpening. We're going to focus on 2 knives though. I have another kitchen knife here. It's not my Wusthof brand. This is a knockoff brand. I'm not sure. Actually, J something Hinkles. I don't know. And then I do have my Ozark Trail knife. I have actually quite a few of these. The reason is because when I first purchased this, it was to go slaughter a pig. I was actually able to slaughter 2 pigs and 3 deer with this thing without sharpening it. So I really like the way this thing held up, so I have 4 of them now. But this one's pretty dull, and I want to see what it does here along with the kitchen knife. So for starters, we're going to go ahead and do the kitchen knife. And I have more paper here, and I want to show you how dull this thing is. So again, another kitchen knife that's not wanting to cut through paper. It did a little bit on the back here, but nothing in the front. Nothing in the front at all. And going by the chart that is actually in the book, we're going to go kitchen knives. This one is also a Western style. So I'm going to pick a 20-degree angle. And it's telling me to start out with an X65 to an X22 to an X4. It is also telling me how many strokes per side. But we are also going to focus on the burr as well. So starting out, let's see what belt I have in here. To change this belt, all you have to do is pull up on this little knob here, and this belt right here will fall right out. Okay? And it's saying to start out with a X65. This is a R945. See what we got here. This is the X65. But because of how dull this is, I'm going to start out with this one first, so I can try to get some of that blade angle back on that knife. So again, just pull up on this, stick your belt in there, okay, and then just give the trigger a small pull so everything lines back up at the belt, just like that. All right, now we're going to check, put our 20-degree angle on there. There's a little notch that you follow right here. There's my 20 degrees. So again, we're gonna have to be careful because when I'm sharpening, I don't want to put too much pressure on these and cause this angle to be thrown off. So light pressure, okay? We can use this here and see how that works with this kitchen knife here. But if I don't like the results, I'll probably just turn this around and get it out of the way. With my scrub nuts hand cleaner, I'm gonna make sure this knife is good and clean. Make sure there's nothing on here that I don't want on this blade before sharpening it. This stuff really does do a good job. I don't just use it on knives. I use it on pretty much everything, to be honest with you. Got all that off of there. I'm gonna take my dry microfiber rag, run that across it a few times. And then what we're gonna do is get things set up. So again, right here I have my rest. It has these little rollers on it. I'm gonna try to get this where I can get it. And can you get a good angle on that? Are you able to see everything? Mm-hmm. All right. Now note, I'm not pushing towards the dial indicator, okay? I am leaning towards this piece here. And when I go back, it's gonna be a nice, smooth transition. And because there's a slight curve, I mean, just barely at the very end, because this blade isn't just straight. When I come out of there, I am going to make sure I pull up on that knife, and I'm going to stop that belt around midways. Also, down here is your speed control for your blade, and it says to have that at speed low. So I'm going to turn that down to about low medium, it looks like. Hold it with my hand, and I'm making sure the edge of the blade here is lined up with the belt. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this sharpened up here and see what we can do. Now it says 4 to 8 times, but I'm also gonna be checking for that burr. See what I got. It's just now starting to get a burr on it, but I would like a little more than that. Okay, it's getting there. All right, so now I got my burr on there. Now I'm going to come over here and do the same thing and watch for the burr to form on this side. All right, now that I got that burr finished up on both sides, I'm gonna just switch the belt to the X65. Again, just pull this lever up here, pull your belt off, throw that to the side, put your new one on. This is a very simple process. Hit the button, let everything line up, put my guide back down, same thing. So I went ahead and just went through all the different belts, went resharpening this knife. I didn't want to sit here and bore you all to death with that, but in the manual, it tells you each belt how to progress to get that edge back on that blade, and it did an amazing job. Actually, it did really well. I'm very impressed with it. My last video on the other knife sharpener I was talking about, the manual one, I was saying I would only put certain knives in this electric grinder. I'm kind of feeling like now I would really feel comfortable using, for example, this Benchmade right here. I use this one for, deboning deer or cattle or whatever I'm working on at the time. I think I would comfortably put that in there, no problem at all. So I've completely changed my mind. But anyways, so yeah, back to this blade here. Can you get a close up of that profile of the, let me wipe it off again with my Scrub Nuts hand and tool cleaner here. Get all the dust off there. Now, see if you can see that edge profile on that. A little bit. Let me switch it to where I can try to get better lighting on it. Anything better? All right, good. My lighting in here isn't the best. I'm working on that. So, okay, let's get to chopping up some paper and see how good it done. Because earlier it would barely cut right here in the back. The front wouldn't even cut at all. So let's see what we got. Again, light pressure. Now that was the front, went right through it. Butter. Let's do a full stroke. Very nice. Yeah, okay. I can get on board with that. That's really nice. Okay, all right, look at that. All right, so the next one we're gonna work on, man, sucker's clean. Anyways, I like to adore a nice sharp knife. Now this one right here, this is my stay sharp at all times knife, okay? This I use for hunting, I use for fishing, I use for, breaking down deer, cattle, whatever I'm working on at the time. And I have another one here that is completely dull. So I'm gonna give you an example. This one might cut the paper a little bit, but not much. Let's see. Yeah, it's wanting to tear it and not cleanly cut it. So the one that I keep sharp, that's a lot better. That's the one I use. I used a stone on this one actually. So that one's doing pretty good too. But we're gonna go through the same steps with this knife here, and let's see what it says, outdoors knife. This is gonna be considered an outdoor knife. It's a really thick steel. So let me see here. We got pocket and we got hunting. This one says on hunting, 25 degrees, low to medium speed. So that's what we'll set up for. We'll switch this over to low to medium speed. And then right here on this knob, we are going to switch it over to, find the 25, you see the 25 there? Switch it on up to 25 degrees. And again, I'm gonna go through the same processes because this is not very sharp. I'm gonna start out with the higher grit and work my way down. And so y'all don't have to sit here and stare at me do this. I'm gonna turn the camera off and then get right back to you. All right, so I'm on the final belt now, and already this thing is, I think it may very well be sharper than the one I did with the stone. This is getting more and more surprising to me. So what I'm gonna do with this, the final belt here, is I'm actually just gonna alternate between back and forth. It states to do that in the manual anyways, and I'm gonna do that about, I don't know, 4 times total. So 2 times So 2 on this side and then 2 on this side, okay? Kill it. All right, so got her all done. Took all the different belts, worked my way all the way to what the chart told me to. And again, just cleaning off the blade, getting rid of all that dust and getting that blade good and clean. We'll try to get another zoom in of this edge profile as well. Let me get this wiped off nicely. So the lighting was better this way. Can you see that edge profile on there? All right, good deal. All right, now let's take it to the piece of paper. Real quick. Here's the one that I done with the Ken Onion Work Sharp electric knife sharpener. This is the one I done with a stone. Okay, you got that? All right. And I want to compare the two to see which one is actually cutting better. This is the one right here, using the electric knife sharpener. Pretty good. Whew. Butter. Okay, electric knife sharpener. Got it. Oh, that was all the way to the tip. This one right here was the one I've done by hand on a stone. Let me get another piece of paper. And I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I ain't gonna try to sit here and brag on myself like, oh, I'm better than this. So here comes the truth. It's cutting smooth. I feel like the electric knife sharpener did better than my stone. I mean, yeah, it's sharp, but this made it sharper. Now it makes me want to work on my sharpening stone skills. Yeah. Oh man, that's good. I like that. This, yeah. Sorry, I have to admit it. This right here done better than me using a stone. So there it is. Dang. And I thought I was just all that with a stone. It showed me up. But besides all that, and seeing my heart get broke just now, check this thing out. It is well worth the money. I see how I can save a lot of time. It isn't shaving away a bunch of material off your blade like using one of those, what did I do with it? Look, I done tucked those stones and everything else away. I don't even remember what I put them out. But anyways, so yeah, again, I'm highly impressed with it. And what I'm gonna do next, the last video, at the end of the video, my son took a stab at it. He'd never sharpened a knife. He has not used this yet. He has just got to watch me. This is his hunting knife right here. It's got some nicks and burrs in it. It's kind of sharp, but they field dressed a deer with this one. And I'm gonna have him get it back to a nice razor sharp status so that when deer season comes up, he's got a good gutting knife there, or a skinning knife. You comfortable with doing that?
I'll try it.
You'll try it? Well, as long as you try it, that's what matters. And if something goes wrong, you got me, I can help and back you up. That's part of the process, is learning, making mistakes, and overcoming them. So, and don't forget, hey, check this out online. Check out the different attachments. I really want to get the different attachments for this because the amount of metal work that I do in here, it would be so handy to have. It's just a number of them. I can't just sit here and list them all off, but yeah, check them out. I really do like this. This is a very nice tool that can be utilized not only for knife sharpening, but a lot of different areas as well. I actually do TIG welding. So I'm gonna try, not on this video, but maybe another one, to sharpen some tungsten with this to see how that turns out, because I use a stone on my grinder on my bench, and I wanna see how it does with this. So be right back. All right, so now I'm behind the camera again. I got my son Ethan here. Say hi, Ethan. He is also on Instagram, known as Son of a Weld Snob. So check him out as well. Send him a friend request, say hi. He's in the process of learning to weld and obviously sharpen knives too. So I left the system, how it was and kind of messed a few things up on it so that he can go through the processes and get the belt on there, get the angle set properly for the knife he's using. What knife are you going to be sharpening?
I'm going to be sharpening my hunting knife that we had used to completely field dress and gut a deer.
All right. And what's one of the biggest problems on it right now?
Right now there's a small nick in the blade right here in the middle.
Okay. So with that, we'll use the heaviest grit belt that goes with it. So go ahead and change that belt real fast. You all right over?
Yeah, just trying to get it over this bottom piece. Oh, I see the problem. There we go.
There you go. Gotta figure it out, right? If I told you everything, life would be too easy. Well, I say that like I know it all. So now just push that button, let go. That way the belt can kind of align itself.
Okay.
Good. Now look in that paper and tell me what degree that blade should be. That is a hunting knife.
So a hunting knife will be a 25-degree angle.
Yeah, happy with that. All right, now grab a piece of paper and let's see how sharp that knife is currently. And you used it one time to field dress a deer, correctly? Or correct? All right, let's see what we got now. Do it nice and slow and easy. So didn't go all the way down, didn't go all the way through. Are you hitting that where the blade is rolled?
I get to where the blade is rolled and it wants to rip.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's got an okay edge on it, but we can definitely make that better. Okay, so go ahead and get yourself in a good position and I'll come over with the camera and we will get a nice angle of you sharpening. All right, so first you need to go ahead and do what before you start sharpening that knife?
We're gonna have to pull out our edge.
Oh no. Come on now.
Make sure the speed is on the right setting.
We already did that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. We're gonna use the scrub nuts hand wipes to clean that blade off. I don't know what you left on there. It could be all kind of deer parts left on that thing.
Just a little bit on the bottom.
You still got deer guts on it, really?
There's something down here.
All right. Just make sure that edge is good and clean. And then we'll talk about keeping your knives sanitary after this. All right. You ready to give it a shot? Now remember what I told you. Watch the knife there. Right here, you can't put too much pressure. If not, it's gonna throw your angle off.
Mm-hmm. Just use enough to keep it aligned.
Yep, and it says on hunting to use 6 to 10 strokes. So we'll start with 6 and see if we got you a bird yet. All right, go ahead. There you go. Real quick, I want to stop you. You're not able to get, because this is in the way, and I want you to see where your blade part is right here. See this right here?
Yeah.
It's not getting all the way up on the edge of this. So turn that, get that out of the way. Okay. Now.
This?
Yep, well, a little closer. Actually, yeah, you're good right there. Yep, you're gonna follow the contour of the blade. That's right. Perfect, go ahead. Make sure this knife is leaning on that right there. There you go.
Should be one more and it should be.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to run that through one more time just so I can show you something. The tip of the knife, when it gets to the center of this belt, I want you to let go of the trigger.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Do that again. Okay. Can you feel the burr on that yet?
I can feel a slight burr, yeah.
Okay, good. Now we're going to switch over here to this side. Remember to stop at the when that tip of that blade is at the center. Speed that up a little bit. There you go. All right. So now what we'll do is I'm going to turn this off for now and let you go ahead and go through the rest of the steps with the belts.
Okay.
So see you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
All right, so now we're on the final stage. He's on the last belt here, and we're going to see what we got. That should do. All right, let's take a look. Have a seat, grab some paper there, and...
Well, first we gotta clean it.
What's that?
First we gotta clean it.
That's right, we gotta clean all that crap off there, huh? All right, move that sharpener out of the way a little bit. Now, is that where the blade was rolled? Is that gone, or is that still there?
It looks to be completely gone.
Completely gone. Good. Very nice. Ooh, much better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Very nice. What do you think about that? Think you can do that one?
Better.
There's another one we can get you for the house. You can go knock on doors and sharpen knives for money. Get you some money saved up for a car. You'll be 16 soon.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Tell everybody $5 a knife, and you'll sharpen them up like new. But find you somebody that's got like 100 knives laying around. All right, well.
All right, I'll charge you then.
No, you ain't charging me. I'm your dad. You're going to do it for free. So let everybody know it's Work Sharp and to have a good day or night whenever they're watching.
Yeah, well, Work Sharp works perfectly fine. So, have a good night.